We recognize this person immediately. They dominate conversations, boast about their achievements, and project an air of absolute certainty in every social interaction.
You know that one person who always has to be the smartest, loudest, and most dominant in the room? Science says they are actually terrified. Let's look at the data.
These behaviors are often interpreted as signs of high self-esteem or a massive ego. If asked, the person will deny feeling inferior, claiming instead that they are better than everyone around them. Looking closer reveals that this abrasive confidence is a performance. Arrogance functions as a mask. It is a deceptive disguise constructed to hide an underlying weakness from the world. This dynamic was a core focus for psychologist Alfred Adler, who identified it as a response to the inferiority complex. When an individual believes they cannot cope with life's real problems, the psychological pressure becomes constant. To find relief, the individual stops trying to genuinely overcome their difficulties. They abandon real-world efforts and adopt evasive tactics. They shift their focus toward an artificial or fictional goal of superiority. Instead of building competence, they force themselves to feel strong as a way to ignore the weakness they refuse to acknowledge. This overcompensation appears in simple ways, like a child who feels self-conscious about their height and walks on their tiptoes to appear taller. It also drives behavioral acting out, such as a teenager who steals specifically to feel more powerful than her parents.
I want you to pause for a second and think about the most arrogant, domineering person in your life right now, the one who makes you feel small. It's easy to feel angry at them. But when I look at the psychology behind this, my interpretation changes entirely. I don't see strength. I see someone who is exhausted. Imagine the sheer amount of psychological energy it takes to wake up every single day and act like a god, just so no one realizes how terrified you are of being human. That is the real tragedy of Adler's superiority complex. The mask they wear to protect themselves eventually becomes their prison.
The rebellion is a pursuit of a superior position that highlights how weak she actually feels. As the individual moves further away from real-world tasks, their goals become more disconnected from society. They abandon social interest and empathy, focusing entirely on self-centered superiority. Adler noted that even a murderer holding a weapon may feel a sense of power, but this value is personalized and meaningless to everyone else. In extreme cases, the complex manifests as a delusion of godhood. The individual seeks absolute omniscience or total domination over others to escape their internal sense of inadequacy. Whether it is a child on tiptoes or a megalomaniac, the engine is the same. They are using a fictional position of strength to flee from a reality they feel unable to master. This chart shows the gap between effort and impact. These compensatory actions do not solve any genuine human problems. Because the energy is spent on the meaningless side of life, tangible issues are pushed aside. The individual restricts their sphere of activity, preferring to avoid failure rather than striving for authentic success. They may feel powerful in this smaller world, but their actions remain incomprehensible to the rest of society. Re-examine the person dominating the room from the beginning of the story. Their domineering behavior is an expression of the complex, designed to elevate themselves. When you encounter overwhelming arrogance, you are seeing a mask for a hidden inferiority.
The superiority complex is just one way the human brain tries to survive the feeling of being worthless. But what happens when the brain doesn't fight back with arrogance, but instead completely collapses into itself? That is where the inferiority complex takes over. To understand how to spot it and how to heal from it, click the video on your screen right now. Let's look at the data together.